that was my baby, struggling for his life, fighting for his life, but I made it a point to call everybody and their mama and let them know if Marcos ever meant anything to you, if you ever cared about Marcos, now is the time to be here for him because we may not have him tomorrow. And I didn't want anybody that was involved in his life not to have that chance, you know? And I just, like, every single time when it comes to me not finding the door, you know, I always pray, and at that moment I felt like all we could do was pray for him. So I was trying to gather as much people as I could and tell everybody, you know, we need to pray for Marcos now because there may not be a tomorrow for him. And sure enough, you know, he didn't make it through the next day.
You said that when in the first phase of the trial, when you were talking about Marcos ultimately passing away, you talked about the doctors told you there was a decision that would have to be made. And you didn't know what you were going to do. You know, that was very difficult, but before you had to make that decision, Marcos passed away.
Yeah.
And you felt like that was Marcos taking care of you.
Right.
So you didn't have to do that.
Right. He's always, like, you know, everybody has here and told you, know, he was always the one taking care of me. And to this day, you know, I get signs of that. I feel his presence, that he still is taking care of me. Just like when all the committee came together, you know, that was his doing, you know. And he knew that I wasn't going to pull the plug. My own selfish visions would still wanted him to have him here in a coma as a vegetable. And it was just so odd how everything happened when they came and they came to a point where they came and told me if it doesn't pull through, if it doesn't come out of the coma, you know, me being the father, I had to make that decision whether I had to give the order for them to pull the plug or not. And I quickly ran to my family and I told them I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say go ahead and, you know, if you're still fighting, I'm not going to stay here and do that. And as soon as I'm telling my family that, you know, next thing I know, the doctors come back down and they told me that he had passed away. So I strongly believe Marcos heard me and was still there, and he said, "Daddy, I'm not gonna make you take that decision. I'm not gonna put that on your. I'm not gonna put that burden on you to have to decide whether you have to put the plug or not." I strongly believe that's when he stopped hiding, because he didn't want to put me through that.
Showing you states 137 now. My last question to you is, how do you want people to remember Marcos?
For what he was, all love. He was an angel. You know, he was my angel. You know, I strongly believe that he's my guardian angel now. He was all about love. He was all about his family. He was all about his little brothers and sisters. He was the oldest one of my children, you know, and against all odds, you know, him growing up in an drug-infested neighborhood, he made the right choices. All of you guys heard that when they did the autopsy on him, he didn't have not even caffeine on his system. No type of drugs. He didn't smoke cigarettes. He didn't do any type of drug. He made that choice to be athletic and worry about his school and worry about all his little friends in the school. There's so many people that he's touched, not just kids, but the parents of the kids. You know, they were always bad with me, but when it came to everybody else, when I left them, because every time I had to go to work, I had to leave them with babysitters, you know, while I went to work. And I always told Marcos, look, you're the oldest one, you know, you're the man of the house now. You gotta take care of your little brother while I'm not here. Make sure he's taken care of, you know. So till this day, I fault myself because he had to grow up so quick. And that's why he had to grow up so quick, because even him as being a child, he always had that responsibility to take care of his little brother, and that stuck with him. You know, it got to a point that I had to tell him, you don't have to do that anymore, just worry about you, and that just stayed on him. And he didn't only do it with his brother, and he didn't only do it with his own family members and siblings. Like he didn't have enough on his plate already. He did that in school. A lot of his friends that are his friends right now to this day still keep in touch with me. You know, most of the friends that he made were when they were feeling down and they were having a blue day, and the first memory they have of Marcos is him coming up to them and telling them, "Are you okay?" and making their day better. And that was Marcos, and that's what I want him to be remembered as.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ray. Thank you.
I have no question.
All right, sir, thank you. And you can return to your seat. And state your policy experts.
State calls Omar Arenas.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Please state and spell your first and last name.
My name's Omar Arenas, O-M-A-R, last name A-R-E-N-A-S.
Thank you. Thank you. Omar, how old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
Are you a senior in high school?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a senior this year.
You're going to be a senior this year,
Mhm.
okay. So you're Marcos's younger brother,
Second oldest.
second oldest, okay. What was it like growing up with Marcos?
No matter what, there was never a bad day. Every day you wake up, no matter what, you'll wake up and you'll feel happy because there's someone there for you no matter what. You wake up and there's someone that's there to help you get through your day, even if you do have a bad day. He'll make your bad day turn into a good day. No matter, even if he's going through a bad day, he won't show it. He'll make everyone else have an amazing day no matter what you're going through. You could find out something terrible's happened to you and he'll make you feel happy. He'll make you look at the bright side of things instead of looking at the negative. Growing up with him makes you want to think that there's no wrong in the world. Growing up with him, you believe that nothing can go wrong. Nothing can go wrong when he's around. And people say that he's gone, but he never left. He's always with us, no matter what. He'll always be with me, he'll always be with them, he'll always be with you. If you knew him, if you talk about him, he will always be with you. No matter where you go. Not only that, but growing up with him, you knew that you would have someone to help you with any situation that you needed help with. Even if he didn't know how to deal with the situation, he would find a way to deal with it, and he would deal with it with you. He wouldn't let anyone do something by themselves. If you had a problem in math class, he'll have that problem with you. If you're having a problem at home, he'll have that problem with you. He never made anyone feel alone, no matter who it was.
What kind of things did Marcos like to do? Like what kind of activities? We know he was into sports. So what sports did he play?
He played football. If my memory serves me correct, he was a cornerback, and I think a wide receiver as well. He loved to play basketball. He wasn't on any teams, but he loved to play basketball. and he also played volleyball as well. Not only is he an avid athlete, but he had dyslexia as well, or dyslexia where he gets stuff mixed around, and he didn't let that stop him. He made sure that he took challenges head on. He was an amazing athlete, a great student, a good brother, good nephew, good grandson, good everything. He didn't do anything wrong.
Did you look up to your brother?
Yes, I did. Everything that I do for him. I wake up every day and breathe for him. He doesn't get to have a prom. He doesn't get to walk down the aisle for graduation. I won't have a best man for my wedding when I have one. But I know that he will be there right with me. No matter what I go through, he's going to be there for me. I live every day for him. I breathe for him. I go to prom for him. I have a graduation for him. Every time I step on the football field, it's for him. Every time I step in the ring for wrestling, it's for him. Nothing's for me. Everything's for him.
So you play sports now,
Yeah.
and those because is that your way of honoring him?
I, like my dad said, I was never an athlete. I was always the book smart. But after my brother passed away, I tried to become an avid athlete. I am a football player. I wrestle, and I am a track athlete. I am a cornerback as well, and a wide receiver. I step onto the field, and I know he's there with me. I know that he gives me his strength. I know that he helps me through every game, through every play, through every match. Recently, in last year, I went to state for wrestling. After 3 years of trying and trying and trying, my freshman year, I didn't place at all at districts, but I knew that if he was there, he would have told me, you can do it. You get out there and do your best and work your, sorry for my language, but you work your ass off every day. Don't let anything stop you. You do the best you can do. No matter what challenges comes your way, you blow through those challenges and you be prepared for the next one. This year at state, I didn't place, but I knew that he would have been proud of me. Him being an athlete, I know that he would have always tried to up-one me. No matter what we did, we could have just been coloring and he would have tried to up-one me. He said, oh look, you're outside of the lines, I'm inside of the lines. He, as an athlete, he exceeded in anything you asked him to do. In football, I don't believe I would have this correct, but I would believe that his coaches would tell him that I need you to do this, this, and this, and Marcos was like, all right, I'll do this. And the next play, he'll do it. Coach tells him, I need you to do this. He's like, okay, I'll do it. Even if he doesn't believe that he can, he goes out there and he does his best because he knows he can.
I know that you and Marcos and your brother
Marcos and your dad were very close. Have you seen how this has affected your father?
You're a little tough.
I'm a good student, but sometimes it's very difficult. Sorry.
Have you seen your dad go through some tough times lately?
Yeah, the stuff that I've seen my dad go through, I know that no human being should ever endure what he's been through. My dad, he might not seem like it, but he's a very strong individual. He doesn't let his past affect his future. And after my brother passed away, I saw my dad give up because I saw that he had nothing else. He had no reason to try. I saw my dad that he didn't have anything to fight for anymore, because like he said, his baby got taken away from him. I saw in my dad something that I've never seen anything. I've gone through everything with my dad. Every worst moment in his life, I've been there with him. I've seen his lowest low, and this was lower than anything I've ever seen. The fact that it happened to him is something that I didn't think I would ever see in anyone, especially him.
Did your family put together a video that you wanted to play for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes.
I think we've marked it.
We have, it's dates 157, and I think the case is like 167P.
It's for ours.
Oh,
All right, 157 is admitted.
So with this particular video, before we play it, did people turn in like their favorite pictures and then have it compiled into a video, or how did it work?
It was more of like a memorial type thing. Something that if you ever have a hard time and want to remember him, to take the best memories of him and take the best pictures we see that portrays him as a person, and we put it together to show not only who he was, but how he was and how well portrayed he was. In a way, that's the best way I can put it.
Permission to publish?
You may.
It's actually our first pet. His name's Checkers. He's a terrier mix. He was our first pet that we've ever gotten. And we love that dog so much.
Feel free, like you have to know, Mark, if there's a picture that you want to give a story to go ahead and do that, okay? Here you go.
He didn't just love people, he loved animals too.
Selfie.
He made selfies cool. That's actually his girlfriend Sky, the one that my dad talked about. That's a baseball game that he went to with my uncle, Eddie. This was actually a picture that we took in Oregon when we visited my mom. This is the beach. This is one of the first times that we visited there. I didn't know it was going to be cold, so I wore a tank top. This is a play that we were in. He played Rapunzel's prince. It was Into the Woods. I was in the play with him as well.
What did you play?
I played Jack. Jack and the Giant Beanstalk, and Cinderella's, I believe, stepfather or father.
You had a lot of girlfriends.
He was quite the ladies' man. He wasn't just friends with everyone. He was friends with a lot of guys, but he also was friends with a lot of girls as well.
So Omar, the last thing I'm going to ask you is, the last question that we asked your dad. How is it that you want Marcos to be remembered?
The way I want people to remember Marcos is that if he saw someone in need, he would go out of his way to help them. Even if it was just a complete stranger, he would go up to that stranger and help them in any way he could. I want people to remember him as being a kind-hearted person, someone who knew what he wanted in life, and he knew that everyone could do anything that they set their mind to. He was the type of person to make everyone smile. He wouldn't judge anyone. He was kind-hearted. Sorry. He knew that no matter what happened in the day, that at the end of the day, if you did something positive with your day, that you did something in life. He was the type of person that wanted everyone to do something with their life. He knew that everyone had potential, no matter it be in sports or in coloring, and that no matter who you were, he would be your friend. He was friends with the underdog. No matter how you portrayed him, he was a jock, but he wasn't the stereotypical jock. He was friends with the people no one wanted to be friends with. If he saw a disabled person, didn't have any friends or was sitting alone, he'd go up and sit with that person, and he didn't care what anyone thought about him. He knew what he knew, and he knew how he thought of himself. And he knew that he knew who he was. He didn't let anyone's thoughts or words change what he wanted to do in life. Only his thoughts and his words can influence what he does. No one else.
Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you wanted to say?
Yeah, he affected a lot of people, but I don't want to sound selfish, but no one has been affected more in life than me, because granted, my family was there no matter what, but he was always there no matter what. He was the one that took care of me. He loved me, and I loved him. When I found out I was an organ at the time of his death, I was thousands and thousands of miles away. I wanted to be there next to him, but I wasn't. I wanted to be there next to him. I wanted to say goodbye, but I never had the chance to say goodbye to my older brother. And he was someone who, no matter what, just wanted everyone else to be happy. Everyone else came first. Everything he got, he cherished. The day I found out that my brother passed away, I didn't know what to do. I still don't know what to do. He had really big shoes to fill in when he passed. And I don't know how to fill those shoes. Becoming the second oldest brother to the first oldest within minutes. It's hard becoming the teddy bear to becoming the one everyone looks up to. I'm supposed to be the rock in the family. After he's gone, I'm supposed to be the rock. I'm supposed to be the one that everyone can go to. But who am I supposed to go to? He was the one that I went to, no matter what. He was the one that I could go to and cry to and talk to, no matter what. I have no one to do that now. I can't talk to him. Living in Oregon, I can't visit him whenever I want. So it's harder for me because I live so far away from him. And every day I have to try to live with the fact that I wasn't with him the day he died. That's it.
State has no more questions. Thank you, Mr. Arroyo. Thank you. And you can return to the audience. State, any more witnesses for today?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the witnesses that the state has scheduled for today. So we're going to go ahead and take our evening recess. The court has a rather lengthy calendar in the morning on various unrelated matters, and for that reason, we will be reconvening at 11 a.m. For excuse you for the evening recess, I must remind you that you're not to discuss the case or anything relating to the case with each other or with anyone else. You are not to read, watch, listen to reports and or commentaries on the case, person, or subject matter relating to the case. You're not doing any research by way of the internet or any other medium, and please do not form or express an opinion on the trial. If you would all notepads in the chairs, or place your notepads in your chairs and follow our bailiff officer Hawks through the rear door.
All right.
Oh, okay, great. There's another bailiff in the back. So 11 tomorrow.
Yes, Robert.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the exit to courtroom for me, please.
Yes, Robert.